on now. Chennai's beaches are battling an oil leak after two ships collided off the Kamarajar port. Experts now say the slick may not move beyond the Tamil Nadu coastline due to its low quantity, but fear that the spill will have a long-term impact on marine life and the marine ecosystem. The oil spill is deadly for spawning fish and nesting turtles, many of whom have been found dead already because of the spill.
Definitely, this has kind of spread to different places. It has gone to Marina Beach. The oil residue has reached the Elliott's Beach. It's extremely dangerous, the kind of pollution. Environmentalists have raised an alarm about why the government agencies tried to play it down initially and were not actively involved in the present multi-agency coordination. Why it didn't happen on the day one is a question that is being raised by the opposition parties. Kanimoli had raised this issue in the Rajya Sabha as well. But right now, authorities are saying they are in the process of clearing this place. Definitely, the effects of this is being witnessed now.
Colleague Priyamada spoke exclusively to the Kamarajar Port Chairman and Managing Director M.A. Kamarajar. This is the first time he spoke to a news channel after the oil spill. He did give us some details. Let's play out that conversation with you. This is exclusive. Take a look.
Hello. Mr. Bhaskar, this is Priyamvada. I'm calling from NewsX news channel.
Yeah, I will give you the news only at 5 o'clock.
You are going to give a press meet, sir? Will you give a press meet?
No. I will issue the press release at 5 o'clock.
But no press meet, sir. Will you meet us?
Press meet. No press meet.
Sir, but now can you just tell two lines? When is this likely to be cleared?
Only I can give only at 5 o'clock because there is a control room. They will collect all the information because various profession I control the control room. I am somewhere else. So once I go there and collect 5 o'clock, we will issue it.
Sir, but now can you tell how this accident happened, sir? How this collision?
Everything is going on smoothly. Successfully is going on. Operation is going on.
And how did this collision happen? Any action against the ship owner?
Madam, again you ask the same thing. 5 o'clock I will tell you.
No, any action against the ship owner, sir? Only that much if you can tell.
Yeah, we have issued the notice that they're holding them responsible for the ship.
Okay. And by 5 o'clock, you'll tell us when this will be cleared. And any environmental hazard, sir? Has any marine life died?
Sir, you are asking marine life. We have to ask other agencies, but we are collecting it and all. It's very early to decide, early to tell. Very early to tell, but there is pollution, and we are recovering it from all the places. It's going on. By evening, I will tell you the latest position.
Okay, sir, but also... Thank you.
It is very serious because it's affecting the livelihood of the fishermen there, and even 30 kilometers away there are black patches on the beaches which are formed, and near Tiruvattur and all, people are complaining that the smell of the oil and the petroleum is so strong that they're not able to continue with their daily work. And it, as we know, long term it has carcinogenic effect also.
The oil spill at Ennore has not just been restricted to that place, but it has spread to other beaches in Chennai as well. Right now, I'm at Marina Beach, and you can see how the oil spill has affected Marina Beach as well. It has left 24.06 kilometers of Chennai coastline polluted so far. This, according to the Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services. Indian Coast Guard had sought their advice and data. The company owners of the boat MT Don Kanchipuram claimed that 2 metric tons of oil could have spilled over, but looks like more than that could have spilled over, because already the authorities have removed 1.1 metric ton of oil, and still so much oil is left in the coast here in Chennai. So obviously there has been some kind of a flip-flop by both the owners of the ship and also the government authorities. With video journalist Videsh, this is Priyamvada in Chennai for NewsX.
Monday onwards, nearly 10 department people have involved in this work. Monday alone, they have removed 5 metric ton, and Tuesday they have removed 15.5 metric ton oil mixture. Yesterday, we have involved some 1,025 persons in this work, and we have removed 24.5. So totally, as of yesterday evening, we have removed 45 metric ton of oil mixture. and we presume still 20 metric ton will be there. So we hope by this evening end we'll be able to complete that removal of the 20 metric ton.
Well, it's about 24.06 kilometers that has been polluted now because of this oil pollution. If I can ask my video journalist to pan the camera and show you, this is the intensity of the oil that has come near the coast. It's extremely huge, and it is definitely very massive and scary. Now the authorities, only after a lot of media attention and coverage, now the authorities have swung into action. Earlier manually they were removing, even now they have not found out a strategy to remove this oil from Ennore. I'm standing at a place called Bharatiyar Nagar, and you can see that last time when we came, when we did the ground report, there were not these other agencies coordinating. It was just the fishermen, NGOs and Coast Guard who were doing this. But now the port authorities, government of Tamil Nadu, all of them together have started working on this. There are medical camps that have been opened to check for any kind of respiratory problem or eye irritation of the people. This apart, you can also see that fire engines have been moved in. The safety guards and gears have been given to people who are indulging. Even now, they don't have a strategy to pump out the oil. So the only option out for them is to manually remove with the help of a bucket. They're removing this oil using the available resources.
This is going to have extreme impact on our marine life as well as the beach itself for great length, and it has an impact for the future also. So we have to immediately move into action and are supposed to come forward, and we are moving all our science and technology to move forward and ensure that things are taken into control as fast as possible.
Yeah, it's very, very dangerous, and I think we have been urging both the governments, especially the central government, which is responsible to clear that, because the fishermen there are suffering a lot, and moreover the pollution on the sea is also very much hazardous. So I think such things should be taken care of, that it will not be repeated in future, and suitable precautions must be taken, and immediately the shipping ministry or the concerned ministry should step in a war-footed manner to rescue and relieve the things.
Lot of pictures have appeared in the newspaper showing the waste of that, and it is a serious cause of many kinds of vulnerable disease. Therefore, the government, central government as well as the state government must take serious note of it and do wash all the remainings of the oil seeds.
Port authorities have told us that they are in the process of cleaning up. Multiple agencies are working right now. You can still see how much oil is there. It has a very dangerous chemical called benzene, which is extremely harmful for the marine life and also people around it. There could be skin rashes or eye irritation or respiration problem that people can experience, and very dangerous for the marine life. But now the port authorities are saying that they're coordinating with the Coast Guard, they're coordinating with the fire service of the Tamil Nadu government, and also NGOs to clean this place. Still, there is no strategy in place as to how they can remove it using any kind of machine. They are only doing it manually using the buckets, which is definitely a tedious process and obviously taking time. So no clear-cut information about how long will it take to clear this entire place. Yes, definitely this has kind of spread to different places. It has gone to Marina Beach. The oil residue has reached the Elliott's Beach. It's extremely dangerous, the kind of pollution. Environmentalists have raised an alarm about why the government agencies tried to play it down initially and were not actively involved in the present multi-agency coordination. Why it didn't happen on the day one is the question that is being raised by the opposition parties. Kanimoli had raised this issue in the Rajya Sabha as well. But right now authorities are saying they are in the process of clearing this place. Definitely the effects of this is being witnessed now.
There's been a spill of oil or something like oil from the Kamarajar port. Until 2 days ago, the Kamarajar port had denied that any oil had been spilled, and now they come out and say there has been a minor spill and there's been negligible damage. or insignificant damage that has been contained. I visited Besanagar beach about 1 hour ago, and there was oil on the beach. I also heard that the contamination had spread all the way to Thiruvanmiyur as well. I think what is more dangerous than the oil is the denial and underplaying by the port authorities and their lack of accountability.
Very painful to hear this. When I noticed that, I couldn't tolerate myself, because today human being protects the animals, human being protects birds, human being protects environment, everything. Why not human being not protecting the human being? It's very painful to hear.
Monday onwards, nearly 10 department people have involved in this work. Monday alone, they have removed 5 metric ton, and Tuesday they have removed 15.5 metric ton oil mixture. Yesterday, we have involved some 1,025 persons in this work, and we have removed 24.5. So totally, as of yesterday evening, we have removed 45 metric ton of oil mixture, and we presume still 20 metric ton will be there. So we hope by this evening end we'll be able to complete that removal of the 20 metric ton.
Government के बहुत सारे agencies, private agencies, colleges, institution. We have got HIMT का CEO, he has come up with 45 people. We have got SAMs, we have got fisheries, we have got fishermen, we have got highway. Everybody is pouring their valuable support. And yesterday we had tripled up what we have got day before. Yesterday we had collected 30 tons manually. All the drums are laid out outside. You can see the rocks. All efforts has gone in with coordination, and maybe by today evening or tomorrow we will be able to get the maximum out of this place.
We actually, with the human power, totally actually up to date, 60 tons of oil actually we taken into custody and fully filled up with the barrel and in the slip custody barrel. So another 20 tons maybe in that area, that will be removed shortly.
Coastal area is totally affected. The fishermen's livelihood is affected. I request the central government and state government to speed up the process, and all these oil crystals should be removed, and they must create a situation very soon so that the fishermen can go for fishing in that area. Until then, I request the state government to give some compensation.
जितना एफर्ट इन लोग कर रहे हैं, शायद कल तक हम मेजर पार्ट उठा लेंगे. शिप ओनर्स की तरफ से आज उनका एक्सपर्ट बेंगलोर से आए हैं, कोई यूके से है, उनका इक्विपमेंट भी हम आजमाएंगे हम. बट उनसे आने से पहले 5 दिन के बाद आ रहे हैं. उससे पहले हम लोगों ने जितना मेहनत करके लिया है, ये ऑलमोस्ट 70% ऑलरेडी हो गया है. उनके आने तक देखते हैं कितना करते हैं. बट हमारा तरफ से ऑल एफर्ट्स इज देयर टू मिटिगेट एंड रिमूव ऑल द ऑयल, subsequently wash down all the rocks which are here.
And the oil spill, of course, has gone off more than 30 kilometers off the coastline here, although some experts believe that that's as far as it'll go because of the low quantity of oil spill. There are others still who believe that this is extremely harmful, and the damage done to the marine ecosystem and the marine biology there is almost irreparable. You saw earlier on our channel visuals of nesting turtles already dead because of the sludge, because of the oil spill there, and the damage done to the fish and the various varieties of fish could also be irreversible. The big point that every conservationist and every environmentalist and volunteer there has harked back on is the failure of the authorities to first admit there was an oil spill, the size of the current one, and then of course the delay in getting reinforcements there. Remember, right now work is going at a very slow pace, I beg your pardon. Buckets are being used, sludge is being taken off manually, super suckers have been pushed into service, work at some places, don't work at others, and this is of course a very excruciating process which might even take more days, more 3 to 4 days at least to take this oil of IG Parmeshwaran joins us now. He's an official with the Coast Guard there. He, of course, spoke exclusively to NewsX. This is what he had to say to my colleague Ashish Singh. Take a look.
116 tons of sludge has been recovered by the Indian Coast Guard off Chennai coast after two merchant tankers collided on 28th of January. We are at the Coast Guard headquarters in the operations room, and I'm joined by the operations head of Indian Coast Guard, IGS Parmesh, who will explain to us what the situation is currently and what the Coast Guard is doing to control the damage as much as they can. Although the primary responsibility lies with the shipping authority, the ship owners and the port authorities, but Coast Guard doing its bit to ensure that the coastline around Chennai doesn't get much affected. Ajay Parmesh, thank you for speaking to NewsX. What is the current status? Before we go on that, the detailed analysis of what's the current status, what went wrong, and what is the current status of the entire cleaning operation?
As you would have read in the newspapers that two vessels, MT Don Kanchipuram, which was inbound and coming in from Mumbai and entering Ennore port, collided with MT Maple, which was outbound from Ennore and was heading for Vizag. The incident happened at about 0345 hours on the 28th of January, and the Coast Guard Maritime Rescue Coordination Center at Chennai received the information at 0515 hours. We swung into action and launched Chetak helicopter to carry out an aerial surveillance of the incident site to check for any possible oil spill. We also launched a second sortie with the TC3 bucket to undertake oil spill dispersant spill over the incident site. And after we were very, very sure that there is no oil spill in the incident area, we diverted our attention to the shoreline cleanup, which is going on as of now.
Okay, so let's quickly go to this PPT so that our viewers can actually understand that what is the current status. Ajay Parmesh, if you can just explain to our viewers that what's the operation like.
Okay, as I had mentioned earlier, at about 3:45 hours on the 28th of January, the inbound vessel Don Kanchipuram collided with the outbound motor tanker Maple near the Fairway Buoy. The distance is about 1.7 nautical miles or 3 kilometers from the Ennore port.
Okay. And from Chennai, it's approximately
from Chennai, it's about 14 nautical miles. Ennore port is 14 nautical miles, and the incident site is about 10 nautical miles.
Okay.
And our Maritime Coordination Rescue Center at Chennai received this information at about 5:15 hours, and we thereafter launched an aerial surveillance using the Chetak helicopter to ascertain if there is any spilt oil at sea. Thereafter, we discerned that there are four places where the spilt oil has accumulated. One is the RK Kuppam beach, which is immediately south of Ennore port. The second is the Kasimedu fishing harbor of Chennai port. Then there was a small patch near the Chennai lighthouse, and thereafter at Marina beach and the Elliott's beach, with further south of Chennai port.
Okay.
The total distance covered by the oil spill is about 12 kilometers in different patches. It is not 12 kilometers in one stretch, but in different patches. And this slide basically depicts the amount of sludge which we have recovered from the shoreline.
Okay.
This slide depicts the sludge which we have recovered from Elliott's beach and the Marina beach.
This is an interesting video. Does it depict that how the ship collided?
Yeah, this video basically depicts as to how the outbound vessel and the inbound vessel collided. If you can see the Maple, which is outbound, and this is MT Don Kanchipuram, which is inbound.
Okay, so
the Don Kanchipuram had a pilot on board and was entering harbour, and her last port of call was Mumbai.
Okay.
And Maple was bound for Visakhapatnam.
Okay. So this is the way basically the two merchant tankers were approaching towards each other and collided on 28th January, and since then there have been kind of environmental havoc. At least there are 4 locations other than Chennai's Marina Beach where the sludge is being recovered. And sir, one last question, what about the investigation? What's the role of Coast Guard now? Do you see this getting contained, or it's still a long
I can say with absolute conviction that there is no oil spill at sea. The sea is absolutely clear of any oil spill, and whatever you're seeing, whatever I have depicted, are basically very small pockets of about 100 meters in length and about 50 meters in width of a place called RK Kuppam Beach, which is just south of Ennore. And the other areas basically have tar balls on the beach. There is no water and oil interface on the beach. Okay. So we can I'm absolutely clear and certain that there is no pollution and there is no oil spill along the beaches, and whatever is there are tar balls which are being cleared with immediate effect.
Okay, sir, you mentioned that 116 tons of sludge has been recovered by Coast Guard, but you also mentioned that around 20 or 30 tons of oil that is spilled. But how does this 20, 25, or 30 tons of oil can easily get converted to 116 tons of sludge?
The oil which was reported to have been spilled by the ship initially was about 2 metric tons. This is factually incorrect because we estimate that about 20 tons of oil has been spilled, and sludge basically is a viscous mixture of oil, water and debris. So 20 tons of oil has collected water, that is seawater, and the debris which is floating in the area, and has translated to about 116 tons of sludge.
Okay. One last question, sir. What about the investigation? Who should be held responsible for all these environmental havoc? Should this just be restricted to 2 merchant vessels? There are a lot of questions being asked, including in the parliament, that the authorities did not react in time. Where does the responsibility exactly lie?
Any collision at sea involving merchant vessels falls under the ambit of Director General of Shipping. So DG Shipping is the nodal agency which will investigate the marine accident.
Okay, thank you so much. So there you heard the Deputy DG of Indian Coast Guard, IG S. Parmesh. He is heading the entire Indian Coast Guard operations. With the help of these slides, we understood exactly 116 ton of sludge has been recovered so far. The Coast Guard has deployed few ships and the helicopters to continuously monitor the situation. With Vijay Setu, this is Ashish Singh in Delhi for NewsX.
Exclusive with IG Parmeshwaras, the operational head of the Coast Guard. He gave us clear statistics as far as the Coast Guard is concerned. Nearly 20 tons of sludge has been removed. The IG Coast Guard also says that he believes there are pockets where there is sludge which is largely made up of an interface of the water and oil along with debris, and those are just pockets at 1 or 2 beaches. But he went on to say exclusively to NewsX that the Coast Guard believes there is no more oil spill in the sea as well. We'll have to wait and watch whether or not people on the ground corroborate that. But for the Coast Guard at least, they believe they've done their job and they believe they responded in time. He's also given us figures and the exact sequence and the chronology of event as they happened. As it happened, the spill that is, he believes that the spill might still be in some pockets of the sea, but largely the oil spill at sea has been tackled. That, of course, was an exclusive with the operational head of the Indian Coast Guard, IG Parmeshwara. We'll also take a look at what Priyamvada, my colleague, has told us. She filed a report from the ground just a while ago. Take a look.
Definitely this has kind of spread to different places. It has gone to Marina Beach. The oil residue has reached the Elliott's Beach. It's extremely dangerous, the kind of pollution. Environmentalists have raised an alarm about why the government agencies tried to play it down initially and were not actively involved in the present multi-agency coordination. Why it didn't happen on the day one is the question that is being raised by the opposition parties. Kanimoli had raised this issue in the Rajya Sabha as well. But right now authorities are saying they are in the process of clearing this place. Definitely the effects of this is being witnessed now.
The oil spill, of course, has made headlines. It was raised in Parliament as well, with the DMK raised in the Rajya Sabha. D. Jayakumar, the Fisheries Minister of Tamil Nadu, has given out some figures as well. But the current situation on the ground really is that the Coast Guard, along with volunteers, local fishermen and some NGOs, have started doing it manually. Super suckers were pushed into service. How far they were effective is anybody's guess, but the visuals say it all. The marine biology, the marine ecology really of that particular area on the Chennai coastline could have suffered irreparable damage. Varieties of fish as well as nesting turtles also suffering.
NewsX is going to get right to the spot where the collision of two ships happened on the Bay of Bengal, which has resulted in this huge oil spillage. Let's take you there to that spot.
Exclusive visuals that our colleague Priyamvada and her video journalist along with local fishermen have sent to us. NewsX is the only channel that's getting you visuals and reports from on the spot where exactly the spill happened. This, of course, is reportage from the ground. You won't see this anywhere else. And we understand that Priyamvada is also going to be joining us later so she can share with us what exactly she saw, the kind of work that's happening right now, not only on the coastline, but also in the middle of the sea right now. Those visuals, of course, coming exclusively from Chennai inside a boat really that is being manned by local fishermen. Our colleague Priyamvada has managed to hitch a ride on one of those boats, and we'll get you more information as we go along. These are exclusive and live visuals coming in from the middle of the sea really, where exactly that oil spill happened, where those two merchant ships had collided. It does look like the effect of the oil spill, at least in the middle of the sea, has somehow been mitigated, but most of the sludge now moving to the coastline and other areas on the beach. There is still an environmental danger, an ecological hazard, if you will, but these pictures coming to you, these visuals, courtesy my colleague Priyamvada and a video journalist who hitched a ride on one of those boats going into the sea with local fishermen and trying to gauge really how work about diffusing the oil spill, if that's the correct word here, or at least removing the sludge off the coast of the coastline of Chennai and the beaches that has reached now is going on. This, of course, is very close to the place where those two merchant ships collided, and this is an exclusive coming in from the Tamil Nadu coast here. My colleague Priyam Vada will be sending a report from the middle of the sea very soon. By the time we get you that report, let's take in what exactly is happening in the middle of the sea where those two ships had collided. These are exclusive visuals coming to us from off the coast of Chennai, the Tamil Nadu coast where the spill really happened. You can see some sort of differentiation in its color as far as the water is concerned, although the IG Coast Guard believes that most of the spill has been contained by now, and the Coast Guard also believes that the roughly about 20 to 40 tons of sludge that has been removed should be enough. We're getting from other unconfirmed sources that it could take another 2 to 3 days to completely clear the coastline of the sludge. Let me put your attention back on the visuals on your screen right now. This is the middle of the sea where our colleague Priyam Vada and her video journalist along with her have hitched a ride on one of the local fishermen's boat. It's a motor boat really, and it has gone right to the heart of where the story eventually started, which was where the merchant ships collided and spilled that nearly 1 ton of oil, which mixed with debris and water became 20 to 40 tons of sludge really. And NewsX is the only channel we've in fact sent our colleagues Priyam Vada and our video journalist right into the heart of the sea where exactly the accident happened. The spillage also occurred very close to where Priyam Vada and our video journalist right now are. Girish is the name of the video journalist. I beg your pardon, Viresh is the video journalist along with Priyam Vada, and it's important to name the personnel who've reached the spot because we can't see them on air right now. We will very soon. Hopefully Priyam Vada is sending her report. We're getting that soon. Remember, they're in the middle of the sea. It does take time to get back. This is of course from the first trip she made. She, I'm told, also made one more. She's been speaking to local fishermen. She's been speaking to other officials involved in removing the sludge here. These are exclusive visuals coming to you from Chennai and the Chennai coastline where Priyam Vada and Viresh have hitched a ride on a local fisherman's boat. All in a day's work for Priyam Vada and Viresh, of course, just to get you the exact picture of what the sea looks like right now, how the operations are going on, how the sludge is being removed, and what quality the water really reflects right now. What we are seeing right now are exclusive visuals from the middle of the sea, very close to where those two merchant ships collided. Remember, they were bearing the flags of the British Virgin Islands, or the Isle of Man, I beg your pardon. At least one of the ships was flying the flag of the Isle of Man. We've also spoken to the Coast Guard. The IG operational head believes that most of the spillage has been contained. Priyam, what exactly is the quality of water where the spillage occurred? The Coast Guard believes they've contained most of the spillage. Is that the situation on the ground?
Thanks a lot. Absolutely. In fact, we were probably the only channel which went hardly 50 meters away from MT Don Kanchipuram on the Bay of Bengal. But right now, the ship has been anchored inside the port. And at the spot where the spillage has happened, because of the sea current, it has moved towards the coast. We went near the sea coast as well, where the spillage is maximum. Initially, it only shows a flip-flop done by the port authorities and the ship owners. They said only 2 metric tons of spillage has happened. But so far, the government authorities claim that they have removed more than 40 tons of oil, sludge, and 27 tons of oil from the coast, and remaining more than 25 to 30 tons of oil is very much present there along the sea coast, which is slowly spreading to other beaches. Around 24 kilometers of Chennai coast has been affected. Thankfully, from the middle of the sea, because of the sea current, the oil spillage has moved to the coast. But even on the coast, it's extremely dangerous, considering that it could even affect the humans and people who are actually living around.
All right, Priyam Vada, we of course are seeing the visuals you've sent. We are hoping to get you live if we can. If we don't, let's just keep talking on the phone right now. Priyam Vada, the fact that local fishermen and their livelihoods have also been affected because the sea life, the marine life has been affected, perhaps irreparable damage to the marine ecobiology there. What are the fishermen saying now? Will their livelihood be affected in the short term? All right, in fact, we'll cut live to the report Priyamvada sent us.
Oil spillage, which is causing a major environmental concern. We are on the Bay of Bengal. As you can see, we are very close to that ship. That is the ship which actually collided with NT Maple, another ship on Bay of Bengal. We have come very close to that point. It has been brought inside the Kamarajar port. This is the Kamarajar port. We have come extremely close to that place. This is the ship which collided, and the oil leakage happened. So far, the port authorities say that more than 27 tons of oil has been removed and more than 40 tons of oil spillage, oil sludge has been removed from this place. Obviously, this has become a big disaster, an extremely dangerous situation where it has polluted the entire Chennai coast. In fact, NewsX has come very close to this ship. It's not easy to inch so close to the ship, which is right now in the anchorage inside the Kamarajar Fortress. With video journalist Bidesh, this is Priyamvada from Bay of Bengal for NewsX. Ready, fast.
There, her report from the accident site itself. One of the ships is still there. We'll try and play it out one more time. Let's play it out again.
This is called as the outer anchorage. In fact, this is the fortress anchorage, and after that, the ship has to go out. That will be the outer anchorage. What happened on 28th at 4 a.m. was MT Maple, a foreign flag ship, had come very close. They were coming out from this Kamaraj port, and Don Kanchipuram was entering. Don Kanchipuram was having oil and lubricants, and MT Maple had LPG. So there was no proper communication. The initial investigation says that there was no proper communication between the captains of these two ships, because of which there was a collision. There was a big dent on MT Maple and 2 holes on this ship. If I can ask my video journalist to show you 2 holes on this ship, MT Don Kanchipuram. Yes. Okay, the authorities are chasing us away. They are asking us to leave this place because we have come very close. Yeah, we'll leave.
Like I said, being a journalist can be a hazard sometimes. The authorities chasing Priyamvada, but she's only doing her job, and brilliant work, I must add. They're very close to the actual accident spot. Visuals still going around. The conversation with the Coast Guard, we won't be able to tell you. Perhaps we'll get that conversation off camera from Priyamvada. They don't look too happy here, but those visuals, of course, exclusive to NewsX. Very close to the accident site, the actual site where the 2 ships collided. So Priyamvada is on the phone right now. Priyamvada, I can imagine the Coast Guard wasn't too happy that the NewsX crew along with you had reached the accident spot, but I'm sure you told them it was all in a day's work. How long do you think now, Priyamvada, the actual task of making sure the sea is safe again is going to take? What are the authorities telling you? Also, if you could tell us what the Coast Guard told you.
Happening right now, when we were the only channel which went extremely close to the spot where
some 10 nautical miles away from the Chennai coast, we are on Bay of Bengal, somewhere near the Kamaraj port, that is Kamarajar port, and you can see the vehicle, vessel there empty. One more, sorry. We are some 10 nautical miles away from Ennur coast. We are on the Bay of Bengal, and as you can see, that is the Kamarajar Port Trust in Ennur. You can see that green color vessel, that is MT Don Kanchipuram, from which the oil spillage has happened. On 28th of January, around 4 a.m., MT Maple was coming out via this anchorage, and MT Kanchipuram, Don Kanchipuram, was entering. Sources say there was no proper communication between the captains of these 2 ships, because of which there was a collision. And this led to a big dent on MT Maple and 2 big holes on MT Don Kanchipuram, because of which the water entered the ship, and in turn the oil started spilling out. Initially, port authorities did not realize the danger But now sources say that this is extremely big because more than 27 tons of oil has been retrieved from the Chennai coast and more than 40 tons of oil sludge has been retrieved. This oil contains, the lubricants and oils that have come out on the sea contains a chemical called benzene, which environmentalists say is extremely dangerous for the marine life and also to people who are living in and around that area. Right now, there is a coordinated effort by all the authorities to remove the oil. With video journalist Bidesh, this is Priyamvada from Bay of Bengal for NewsX.
Reportage there by Priyamvada and a video journalist Bidesh, who went slightly too close there to the side of the accident and were told by authorities to slightly put some distance between them and the ship. You saw the live report coming in from the middle of the sea there in the Bay of Bengal. We'll try and connect with Priyamvada later in the day as well to get exactly what she found out. That is quite some reporting there by my colleagues. We'll take a short break right now. When we come back, we have more for you on not just this story, but others as well. Stay tuned.